Question: what damage can cause in the heart a single-chamber leadless pacemaker with an output voltage of 5.0 V at 0.4 ms? Answer: based on your question, it's important to distinguish between damage caused by the pacemaker's physical implantation and damage from its electrical output. The electrical setting you mentioned, 5.0 V at 0.4 milliseconds, is a high output setting. This is typically not a source of direct tissue damage like a burn, but rather a safety setting programmed to ensure the heart is captured, or a sign of an underlying problem. The most significant forms of damage associated with a pacemaker are mechanical or physiological. 1. Mechanical damage from implantation. The most serious acute damage risk from a single-chamber leadless pacemaker is cardiac perforation. What it is: this is a rare but serious complication where the device, which is implanted directly into the heart muscle, the myocardium, is pushed too far and punctures the heart wall. This is a mechanical risk related to the physical procedure of implanting the device, not the electrical voltage. The tines or helix used to anchor the device can perforate the thin wall of the right ventricle. Result: this can lead to pericardial effusion, fluid in the sac around the heart, or cardiac tamponade, a life-threatening condition where the fluid pressure prevents the heart from beating properly. Point 2. Physiological damage from long-term pacing. The most common long-term damage from this type of pacing is pacing-induced cardiomyopathy, PICM. This is not caused by the voltage of the pulse, but by the location and frequency of the pacing. What it is: PICM is a weakening of the heart muscle and a decrease in its pumping function, lowered ejection fraction, that develops over months or years. A single-chamber pacemaker paces from one spot, usually the right ventricle, RV. This creates an anti-physiological heartbeat. Instead of the heart's natural conduction system activating the whole heart simultaneously, the electrical pulse starts in the RV and spreads slowly to the left ventricle. Result: this electrical uncoordination, dysynchrony, puts stress on the heart, leading to structural changes, remodeling, and, in some patients, heart failure. Point 3. What 5.0 V at 0.4 milliseconds means. This specific setting relates to the pacing threshold, not direct electrical damage. Pacing threshold: this is the minimum amount of energy, voltage, and pulse duration needed to make the heart muscle contract. A healthy, new pacemaker implant might have a threshold of less than 1.0 V to high output pacing, 5.0 V. A setting of 5.0 V is very high. It's almost never the primary setting. It's used in two main scenarios. As a safety protocol, the pacemaker is programmed with a high safety margin, e.g., double the threshold, to ensure it always captures the heart. As a suspension mode, if the device fails to determine the correct threshold, it may default to a high output setting like 5.0 V to guarantee pacing. High output as a symptom. A high threshold that requires 5.0 V to capture is a sign of a problem, such as fibrosis. Scar tissue has formed around the pacemaker tip, insulating it and requiring more energy. Lead dislodgement. The device is moved to a less sensitive part of the heart. In summary, the 5.0 V setting itself is not the cause of damage. The most significant damage, perforation, is a mechanical risk from implantation. The most common long-term damage, cardiomyopathy, is a physiological result of the location of pacing, not its voltage.